Hey guys, and welcome back to another 12 Minutes to Health. I really appreciate y'all taking the time. Dr. Stevens, I'm up here in the McKinney office. But I wanted to talk to you about something. And with everybody that has been coming in, we've all been talking about gifts and making sure everybody has the right gift. Well, this is my gift to you. This is one of the best gifts that I can think of, and it's your health. Now, that comes down to three things: making sure you're eating properly, making sure you're getting enough movement, and making sure you can manage your stress, but giving you the information to where you can make those choices on a daily basis, because that's a gift that keeps on giving. As you get healthy, you get the aches and pains out, and you can actually overcome a lot of the issues that have kind of brought us down, broken us down. Now I'm going to bring in Dr. Chris. He's going to be my guest speaker this week to really give you some more information on omega-3s and how it can help you with your genetic expression. But I want you to do two things. And that first thing is grab a pen and paper and take some notes. You'll get more out of it by writing it down, and you'll cement it further into your brain. And the second thing, ask your questions. Because at the end of this, we're going to answer the questions that we can so you can get your true answers. Now let's listen to Dr. Chris, and we'll come back on the other side.
Hey everybody, it's Dr. Chris with Texas Chiro Health, back for our 12 Minutes to Health. Just wanted to take a second and say thank you guys for joining us for these talks on eating well, on moving well, on thinking well, on how to be healthy, right? I really appreciate it. The number of people showing up to the clinic to learn about this stuff is starting to grow. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. And also I wanted to remind you that we do these kind of talks over the research every Tuesday night in our clinic at 6 o'clock. So you are more than welcome to join us. We have a ton of research in there on all kinds of different topics. We also have refreshments, healthy snacks, green smoothies for you. And most importantly, the doctors are there, right? And that allows you to get your questions answered. You can come in, you can see the office, kind of see what we're all about, listen to the information, and then talk with the doctor and get your questions answered. I know I don't get to cover everything in these 12 minutes, but the doctor's there for you. So get in there every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. So with that being said, let's dive into the research. The article we're looking at here is Sampath and Natabi, and it's called Polyunsaturated Fatty Acid Regulation of Gene Expression. Okay, specifically, they're looking at omega-6s and omega-3s in this study, and the benefits and the negatives and all the different stuff that's there. So it's a great study. It's one of my favorite topics, looking at the omega-3s. But one thing that I wanted to say before we start is that there are other polyunsaturated fatty acids besides just omega-3 and omega-6s. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But one of the important things to remember is not all of them are good, not all of them are bad, right? Some of them are great. So we need to consider that when we're looking at it, because I know there's an article that comes out like once a year. I get it from a patient, and it never fails. Once a year, they come and they say, look, omega-3s are bad for you. I shouldn't be taking this. They don't help anything. They actually cause more problems. And the problem with that study that comes out, and you'll see it again this year, but the problem with that study is they look at polyunsaturated fatty acids as a whole, and they don't separate the different fatty acids. Okay, so it looks like on the surface that omega-3s could be bad for you, but that's a poor study. And that's why we don't use poor studies when we do the 12 Minutes to Health. We use the randomized controlled trials, right? Just the straight research that's in the peer-reviewed medical journals, so you get an unbiased approach to health. So I just want to put that out there because I know you'll see the article at some point. But this article is a great article, and I want you to pay attention to what we have to say here tonight about omega-3s, because I truly feel this is one of the most important, if not the most important supplement that absolutely every single person should be taking every single day. And you'll see why as we dig through the study here. So the study shows that the first thing, balance is key, okay? Because there should be a balance in our blood, in our body, in every system of our body between omega-3s and omega-6s, all right? The balance should be omega-3s about 1 unit to 2 units of omega-6, so a 1 to 2 balance. But in the typical American diet right now, we have a 1 to 20 balance, and that's terrible for us because of inflammation and a whole number of other things that we're going to get into. So we need to supplement because we just can't get enough omega-3s to counteract all the omega-6s that we get. And we can't cut out enough omega-6s because they're present in pretty much every processed food, every fried food, everything that's not a whole food, and even some of the whole foods like the grains and the sugars and the bread and the wheat and the stuff that we eat is filled with omega-6s. So it is near impossible, if not impossible, to balance out the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio without having a pure, organic, quality omega-3 supplement. And we'll talk about the Innate Choice brand that we use in the office and why we use that here in just a little bit. But understand that the balance of omega-3s to omega-6s is one of the biggest takeaways from this article, because if that's not there, we cannot eat well and truly be healthy. So they talks about where we find some of these omega-3s and omega-6s. Let's start with the omega-3s. A majority of our omega-3s are going to be found in fatty fish, cold water fatty fish like salmon and sardines and things like that. There's a few plant sources like avocados and your olive oils and flaxseed oils and things like that that do have omega-3s. It's just a lot of the plant sources are going to be incomplete compared to the animal sources. And the animal sources are actually what the Homo sapiens species, i.e. us, requires. Okay, so we need to get those omega-3s. And to do it from just food, like I say, I want you to eat well. I don't want you to supplement the things that you don't have to. However, you would have to eat about 12 cans of organic sardines a day in order to fulfill your omega-3 requirements and balance out that omega-3 to omega-6 ratio, which just isn't possible. Or you could take 2 teaspoons of the oil or 4 capsules of the oil each day and get not only your omega-3s, but your vitamin A and vitamin D with the supplement that we use in Innate Choice as well. So it's vitally important that we all are taking an omega-3 supplement to create that balance. Now the omega-6s, like I talked about just a minute ago, you can see all these foods here. You have all of your vegetable oils, which are present in just about everything. Your high fructose corn syrups, your sugars, your grains, your wheats. Even if they're whole grains and whole wheats, they're still going to have omega-6s. And it's not that we don't need omega-6s at all. We do. We've got to keep that 1 to 2 balance. It's just that it's gotten so far out of control, we have to supplement an omega-3. And our processed foods, and the typical American diet is filled with processed foods and these vegetable oils, the canola oils, things like that are just causing the omega-6s to just go through the roof. And that's why the typical balance right now is about 1 to 20 instead of 1 to 2. So let's look at the benefits of each and the controversies behind them. The benefits of omega-3, this study goes on to show, are just limitless because it's used by every system in our body. Omega-3s have been connected with decreasing coronary heart disease. That's a big one. That's one of the top 5 killers in our country. You know somebody with heart disease and they're not on an omega-3. And that's where you need to, say, hey, I learned this the other day, and tell them to come in the office Tuesday night at 6 so we can get them some more information. But coronary heart disease is a big one. They linked omega-3s in prevention of cancers. Specifically in this article, they looked at breast cancer, prostate cancer, and colorectal cancer. So, and it's all about prevention with these, right? These are not a medicine. Omega-3 is not like you have colorectal cancer, get on omega-3 and you're going to be just fine. This is all about prevention. That's why I say everybody should be on these, because you don't want these diseases to come around. You want to eat this stuff and eat better, move better, and think better, right? Live a healthier lifestyle and give your body the best chance. But in this article, they linked the omega-3s to prevention of colorectal, prostate, and breast cancer, which is huge. Brain development was another big thing they talked about. The entire outside of our brain, the neocortex layer of our brain, is made up of these fats, these omega-3 fatty acids. In fact, that's one of the things that when Homo sapiens, as far as we can trace back Homo sapiens, came about, their brain was bigger than their closest relatives, right? So when their brain was bigger, they said, well, why did their brain get bigger? And what they found out is they started eating meat. They started using fire to cook meat, and they were able to eat meat. And this meat was grass-fed, right? Because there were no conventional farms and things like that at this time. So the meat was eating what it was supposed to. And if you eat good grass-fed, grass-finished beef, you'll get a good amount of omega-3s from that as well, as well as your fatty fishes and things like that. So make sure that you're getting good meat when you eat that meat, because it's important to our brain, and those omega-3s that are found in it are important to our brain. And it's another reason why we need to supplement omega-3s every single day. And what omega-3s do is they fight inflammation. Okay, and that's where the balance of 3's and 6's come in. Because the omega-6s have become so high, and because the omega-6s are pro-inflammatory, we are running around with chronic inflammation in our bodies, which is when you look at all these chronic diseases I'm talking about, or you look at pain or aches and pains and discomforts and headaches and all the other things that people suffer with, a lot of the times it's due to chronic inflammation. And as you can see here, this one picture I put up, it's the root cause of most disease is this chronic inflammation. We can reverse that chronic inflammation when we get the balance of omega-3s and omega-6s figured out. But that's only going to happen with an everyday quality organic omega-3 supplement. So you've got to add that into your diet. It's such a huge thing for all of us to take every single day so that we can fight the inflammation, because omega-6s are so pro-inflammatory and create inflammation in our body. So when it comes to gene expression in the study, it showed, and I'm just going to read it right here from you. This is one of the quotes that I took out of there, but it says, by affecting cell membrane composition, metabolism, signal pathways, and direct control of gene expression, sufficient omega-3 essential fatty acid levels play a key role in the prevention of human diseases such as obesity, diabetes, cancer, neurologic and brain disorders, and heart disease. Guys, these are some of the biggest killers in our country. And what we're finding out is that if we eat better, move better, and think better, we can prevent a lot of this stuff from happening. All of these are disease of lifestyle. They're lifestyle diseases. I cannot stand next to someone with a brain disorder, or obesity, or diabetes, cancer, heart disease, you pick it. I can't stand there and then breathe on me and me catch their cancer. It just doesn't work that way. What's happening is we are not living in congruency with a lifestyle to prevent these things. Now, is this going to prevent it altogether? No, we're still going to have some things that go on. There are genetic components to some of this stuff, but what we're finding out with more and more research is the genetic components are so much smaller than we thought, and it's because of our lifestyles that we're turning on genes. We're expressing genes that weren't meant to be expressed, and that's where omega-3s play such a vital role in the gene expression and not allowing the wrong genes to get expressed, because they're an essential fatty acid that our body uses in that manner to help us prevent these lifestyle diseases. So it's absolutely essential that we get on a good, organic, quality omega-3 supplement. And I know there's tons of omega-3 supplements out there, right? It's one of the first things I do with my patients when I say, you need to be on an omega-3. They say, I am. I say, great, bring it in, because we need to take a look at it. And what I found is that 99% of them are crap. I mean, to not sugarcoat it, they're crap. And the reason they're crap is because they found ways that they can concentrate them, right? So marketing-wise, that sounds great. We've got more EPA, we've got more DHA, more omega-3 quality or content in our capsules. But what they've done is they've made it cheaper. And the reason they've done that is because they break it down, they create that concentrate, which actually changes the chemical makeup of it, creating an ethyl ester. Now, you don't need to know what an ethyl ester is or even remember the word, but what you do need to know is that it's bad, it's pro-inflammatory, it gives you zero of the benefits of any of these, and since it's pro-inflammatory, it's actually negative effects on your body when you use a concentrated omega-3 fish oil. The other thing we look at is the smell and taste of it. When they bring it in, I tell them, eat one of the capsules, just chew it up. And everyone looks at me like I'm crazy. They're like, no, I already get fishy burps. It smells awful, whatever. That's because that fish oil has gone rancid. Okay, and that's because corners are cut in the processing of it, the storage of it, and the transportation of it. And that's one thing that I've looked for and I've found in Innate Choice is that none of those corners are cut. In fact, I drink my fish oil every day, and there is no fishy aftertaste. There is no fishy burps. There are no fishy burps or any of that stuff because it's done the right way. So you've got to make sure you're at a good omega-3 versus a bad one. So just another reason to come in on Tuesday nights at 6 to get questions answered, because there's so much information to cover. And I know I can't cover it in these 12 minutes. But one thing that I do know is that you know somebody who could benefit from this information, who could benefit from chiropractic care, who has aches and pains, who isn't living a lifestyle congruent with health, who just isn't as healthy as they want to be, and we can help. So what we're doing, we do x-rays in our office. We do our spinal health assessment, which is a proprietary health software that we use so we can assess the entire lifestyle to get you a personalized spinal health score, which shows how you're moving, eating, and thinking. It's a score from 1 to 100 so that we can best help you. And we'll take any x-rays that we need as well. And, normally the full cost of this in our office is about $289. But as you can see here, we've brought that price down for you guys to just a $39 donation. And that's from you guys to our local monthly charity. And we do this because we want to get the word out there, right? We want more people to hear this information. We don't want people to be a victim of their health. We want them to take control of their health and actually, live a healthy lifestyle, a vibrant lifestyle like we're supposed to live, like we're all meant to live, like we all deserve to live. So that's why we do this special offer. We get to give to a charity, but we get to help people out and spread the word about health. That's our biggest thing. So if you know somebody, if you are interested, the numbers are up here. Give us a call, get into the clinic, and let's get you set up with an appointment. But I appreciate you guys for being with us again for the 12 Minutes to Health. Make sure you get into the office on Tuesday night at 6 so you can get more of your questions answered. Thanks, guys.
All right, there's my video starting up. A lot of information there. Thanks as always, Dr. Phillips. And like I said, omega-3s, guys, we can't urge how important they are to our health, right? And so most of our patients are already on them when they come in. So please let us, give us a call, shoot us an email, take a picture, let us explain if they're good, they're bad. We're gonna be totally honest with you. Like we got a patient this morning that was on krill oil, right? And so I had to explain that one is krill part of our normal everyday as a human diet, and it's not. We don't go say, hey, I'm gonna go have some krill for lunch. That's just not a thing. And so krill oil is actually in the wrong form. It's in a phospholipid form instead of a true triglyceride form for our bodies to use. And so those little things like that where we get marketed into a bad product and pay a lot of money and waste a lot of money for nothing. And that really sucks. And we don't want that for you, your family, our patients, anybody. But like Dr. Phillips was saying, guys, it's a lot of stress this time of year. And we want to make sure that we're getting you guys taken care of. And so please give us a call. It's just a donation, $39. For the end of the year, it goes to Toys for Tots. And so let's help our kids get a better Christmas and then around the heart areas. Excuse me there. Remember to breathe. And then once again, guys, get in for the free lunch. Remember, we're going to buy you guys lunch for joining in. Free Chipotle, write us a review, Google, Yelp, Facebook, whatever your preference is. All three, I'll buy you 3 lunches. I don't care, right? We just want to know how awesome these are so the word gets out so we can help more and more people. Also, guys, get in for the drawing. Remember, it's a stealth core trainer. And so that's this exercise while we are having fun too. Here's the rules, right? Facebook, Instagram, take a picture, let us know. And then guys, we're back next week, right? We're gonna start off the new year strong, but that's our last one of the year, but we invite you guys back. And Dr. Stevens, do you have anything to add on top of that?
No, you covered it all. Thank you.
Awesome, guys. Well, we'll see y'all next week and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys.